As you can see, already our perspective has changed. Our perspective has shifted a wee bit. And I'm just really excited and grateful that you're here with me. And I'm looking forward to just sharing this practice, this exercise with you, and looking forward to hearing what you're going to share in response. You are capable of amazing things. Hello, love, and welcome to another ASMR Quantum Human Design session. Today is going to be a little bit different than our normal sessions. As you can see, already our perspective has changed. Our perspective has shifted a wee bit. And I'm just really excited and grateful that you're here with me. And I'm looking forward to just sharing this practice, this exercise with you, and looking forward to hearing what you're going to share in response. So, I was never one to set New Year's resolutions or like goals for the year or anything. But what just naturally happened, it started in 2019, it was the first year for me, is that I was given a word for the year. It wasn't something that I set out to do. It wasn't even something that I specifically asked for. I just feel that my higher self, my guides, spirit dropped in a word of the year dropped in a word and told me that this was to be my word for the year. And I was like, okay, sure. So ever since then, it's become a practice for me now. It's just become part of what I ask my guides or higher self or spirit for is, okay, what's my word for the next year? What am I going to focus on? What's going to be my theme? And the cool part about it is it's not like a lot of detail is given, right? So it's one word, and I have been given which I'm going to share with you, is sometimes like a paragraph or a couple paragraphs or a sentence with the word that is still kind of broad. So it's like this can play out in so many ways. So it gives me some kind of overall theme and focus, and yet there's still a lot of mystery and curiosity and questioning and wonder around the word and what that means and how it's going to play out. So it's been really interesting. And what I really love is I love to reflect throughout the year, different points throughout the year, maybe once a quarter. how that word is playing out for me, what that's looking like what's happening in my life, and how does that correlate to the word that I was given for the year. So, as we are winding down this year of 2023, I am so excited to share this with you, and maybe you do this already. I know this isn't something new. I'm sure people have done this for a long time, or something similar even. So you'll have to let me know if you have something that you do that's similar, or maybe you've never done anything like this and you can pick a word or ask your guidance or whoever, your higher self, for your word for 2024. So I have my word for 2024. I asked a couple weeks ago, and normally I will ask and I wait until, if something, I just ask, and then if something comes, I will wait until I have, usually I'm given confirmation in threes, so I will get confirmation in at least 3 ways that I'm like, okay, for sure this is my word. And I just love how the universe just gives those confirmations and signs and synchronicities to affirm and confirm for us. So it's like, without a doubt, this is your word. I thought we'd just do a fun little exercise together, and this is one of my journals, an older journal. I'm going to share with you, actually, you know what we're going to do first? I thought we'd have fun with revealing the words with bananagrams. And even before we get to that, I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm excited. Okay, so I want to share this quote about words. That's one of my favorite quotes that's just been with me for years from my teacher, Karen Curry Parker. This is probably just something I come back to all the time, that's just constantly marinating, or I'm marinating on, and that's constantly in my field, which is the whole premise of why she created the quantum language for human design. It's this right here. So her quote says, "Words create, words allow for unity. They transmit, they are the interface between the divine and human. Words are power. They translate the infinite to the finite. Words are a code for a story. Words carry frequencies of energy, and our DNA responds to that language." So, not only the words that we think and speak are so important, but I think that it's so great to be reminded of that, to continuously bring that back into our conscious awareness. What words are we saying? What words are we speaking to ourselves, to each other? Words are spells. They're that powerful, and so they do carry that frequency. And there's lower vibrational frequencies and higher vibrational frequencies, and we get to choose what we focus on, what we speak, what spells we're casting with our language. And again, this is why Karen created the quantum language for human design. It's a higher more powerful, more empowering, and more powerful frequency of energy of language. And that's the difference between the traditional language and Karen's quantum language, which is what I resonated with when I say quantum human design found me, or Karen Curry Parker was just introduced to my path. And so with that, I just wanted to kind of bring that back to remembrance and just kind of let that sink in, and maybe as we go through this exercise and I share this with you, that you start to think about maybe, or ask your guides or your higher self or the universe or whoever, what your word is for 2024, if you'd like to participate in this. So I thought it would be fun to reveal to you what my words have been for the past 5 years, and now I'm going into my 6th year of doing this, and then just kind of showing you my process and what little sentence or paragraph went along with that word. And so I thought we'd use this Bananagrams. I don't know if you've ever played this, but it's fun. It's a fun game. It's like a more simple version of Scrabble. Of course, this makes a lovely sound. Okay. So here's our tiles. And let's flip them all over, and we can reveal our first word. So this started, like I said, in 2019. And we'll start with the first word. Okay. So I wonder, can you guess what it's gonna be? It's like Wheel of Fortune. but not really. Okay. Ta-da. So here's my word for 2019. Blossom. 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 Okay. So what I do is I will just very simply like go to my Pages document on my MacBook, and I'll just put the word in and then the year, and then sometimes a picture will come to me, and like I said, sometimes there will be words or paragraphs. I think a lot of the years actually the sentences or the paragraphs have been things that Karen Gray Parker has written in her evolution guide that comes out, or like a newsletter or something that just was like a next extra piece that was like, boom, this goes with my word, you know. So what I do is I have a visual board. I call it my visual board versus a vision board. It's like, because I think a vision, I'm splitting hairs really, but I think of a vision board like is typically thought of as like things you're manifesting, but I just look at it as more of like an inspirational board, things that I want to look at throughout the year that keep me inspired, that allow me to remember the things that I forget, because, you know, if you've been around here for a minute, that part of what I always share and say is like, life is a constant cycle of forgetting and remembering and forgetting. So it's so good to have that visual board. And in the middle of the board, I put the word. And then the board has like a bunch of other things around it that just inspire me, and things that make me like feel good or bring joy. Because part of my prayer, like with my dreams and aspirations, is I'm thinking of this thing, but the universe always has something better planned. I feel that we limit ourselves, and so I've gotten in the habit of, with my prayers and my asks, of saying, this is the thing that I would like, or this is what I want to create, or this is what I'd like to manifest, or something better. And the universe always comes through with, or something better, because it's like you can't even fathom or fully comprehend, just because of our conditioning and our limiting beliefs. No matter how much we've deconditioned and cleared those limiting beliefs, I still feel that we naturally, in this human form, limit ourselves, and therefore just leaving that open and trusting that the universe has something better, something that we couldn't even imagine, because it's hard to imagine something we haven't experienced. We tend to go on our previous experiences or things that we've even seen, and so the universe comes in with something completely new and different, and you're like, whoa, that's everything I never even knew I needed. And it's amazing how it just works out that way. The universe always has a better plan than we could ever put together. And we just have to trust that. That's part of the whole life is happening for us. And we need to anchor into that faith. Okay. So at the end of the year, what I do is I leave this on my vision board for the whole year, and then at the end of that year, I just, as you can see, it just stapled it in to this journal, or I tape it in so that I remember, and I close out the year with what this word was. So for 2019, it was blossom, and this was the image that came to me. And here's the wording that I believe was Karen's something Karen Curry Parker wrote. So it says, 2019 is where your deepest soul's essence and highest life purposes emerge in awareness with synchronistic support from the universe to bring your dreams to life. Boy, was that true. So 2019 was such a year of blossoming, and when I was given this word, I had no idea what that meant, right? But as I did my check-in points throughout the year, and then looking back in hindsight, but connecting the dots, going backwards, it couldn't have been more of a perfect word. If I had to pick one word to encompass this whole year, it was blossom, blossom. It was just perfect. So that was 2019. Okay. And then let's do 2020. Oh my gosh, 2020. Okay, ready? You gotta let me know if you can, at what point you might be guessing the word, because that's fun. Do you know what it is yet? Together, together, together. Okay, what's crazy is I was given this word, before the pandemic, before COVID, and boy, did I have no idea how much together would be the word for 2020. So this was the imagery. This was the imagery for 2020. This picture of two people just holding hands, coming together, being together. And this was the wording that I had with it. And it says, my thoughts, beliefs, and actions lay the template for what's to come. My faith is my power, and I surrender to the infinite abundance that is life, and I trust. Yeah. So that was 2020. And that was definitely a year of what is happening? What is going on? And we certainly were together, at least with the people that you lived with, right? Together or not. It was either harmonious or not. So this is my current journal. It says, you are capable of amazing things. Okay, so we've got blossom, we've got together. So what was the word that I was given for 2021? That word was oops. Can you guess already? Faith. Faith, 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 faith. So let's see. This one, I kind of actually just stuck in there because I don't think I had room. So this is what 2021. Another Karen Curry Barker quote. Surprise, surprise. Her quote says, "Faith stabilizes everything." So this was exactly what I had on my vision board the whole year. And it says, "Faith stabilizes everything." Faith gives us, I believe Karen wrote this too. Just so happened to turn out that way. So, faith stabilizes everything. Faith gives us the power to face potential emotional volatility and to trust that we can slice through the intensity, bringing harmony to situations that feel unstable while we keep the big picture in mind. We must endure even if we are in unfamiliar territory, questioning our own definition of momentum and progress. Always trust that there is a bigger story unfolding. This was 2021. And again, like I said, it's right where I have this vision board that's up on the wall, and when I can see it from the spot where I do my morning time and meditation and prayer and journaling. So anytime I look up onto the wall, I can see this. And there's so many times throughout the year where I'm questioning or like what's going on, or just anything that arises and that comes up and I'm going through. And my guides are like, "Go read your word for the year." I'm like, oh my gosh. And it just really, it answers at that moment. It's like, oh, okay, thank you for reminding me. Yes, I'm going to come back to this. Yep, this is the theme. This is what I'm working on. This is where I'm growing. These are my lessons. This is what I'm anchoring in deeper. This is what I'm learning at new levels. You know, it's funny because we think sometimes like there's a cap or a ceiling on things, like, oh, I've already practiced faith, or oh, I've already, blossomed, and I've already been through this, and I've grown, and I've done all these things. And it's like, you're still alive, so you're still growing and evolving and learning. Like, that's the whole point of being in this earth school. So there's no, like, you've hit your faith ceiling and then you'll never have to learn anymore in the faith department. There's no ceiling, there's no cap. It's something that's continuous. There's always something to learn. There's always a new perspective. There's always a deepening that we can go, and more levels and layers. It's like, it's not linear. It's a spiral. Life is this spiral, and we go up and we go down. And for lack of a better word, it's not really up or down. It's not necessarily like you've kicked back a couple of levels, because you can't ungrow. You can't unlearn what you've learned. But there's just a deepening and a more integration and a more anchoring in and of these lessons that we're learning. So where are we at? We've got blossom, together, faith, and then what did 2022 bring? I was given this word. Oh, actually, this needs to come down here. So, sorry. Okay. I was like, there you go. Let's fix that. Okay, because this 2022 word goes here. Do you know what it is yet? Courage. was 2022. So let's see what this looks like. Okay. So I actually loved the images that came to me for this word, right? I'm a Leo rising, so that's just and I just have always had a love or obsession with big cats of any kind. So lions, tigers, panthers, leopards. I love big cats. So I actually, in 2022, I actually took this, which says, I breathe in courage and I exhale fear. And I printed this out and put it on like a cardboard, just a piece of cardboard to make it a little thicker than paper. And I have this in my car, like on my doors. Every time I open my car door, I see this. This was actually from Karen Curry Parker, her words, again, from something she wrote for this year. That again was like that's what I'm talking about. I was given this word and then things come to me that affirm and confirm that. And usually it's again more than one thing, but this wording was perfect to go with this. So this is what I had printed out and put on my vision board. And it says, I am courageous and willing to explore what needs to be released, healed, and aligned for me to let go of past limitations, hurts, traumas, and pain in order for me to align with a new reality, a reality that is in authentic alignment with who I am. And this was definitely a year that I had to tap into my inner brave heart, right? My inner lion. And in my office space, I have a huge picture of a lion I love, that just reminds me just of this energy of strength and courage and basically being capable, right? So yeah, this was definitely a word that I got to experience in many different ways in 2022, for sure. So we're winding down. Okay, so what was the word for this year, 2023? That word, can you guess it already? You have to know it by now, right? Growth. Okay. So, what's cool about this word, like when this happened, when I was given this word for 2023, it was very specific that I was told it's both personally and professionally, and I was like, uh-oh, what does that mean? What is this gonna look like? And there's definitely been so much personal growth and just like on a soul level as well. And definitely so much professional. So it was very specific. They were like, this is both personally and professionally. I just took this down off my vision board to share with you for this session. This I believe was from Karen as well. So like every year has been from Karen, except interestingly enough, the word for 2024, which I'm going to share with you next, was not from Karen, and it's a very short sentence. I don't even know if it's considered a sentence, just a couple of words. So this says, for realities to change, to get off one path and onto a different one. There will be points where the two roads meet. We are at such a crucial junction at this time. The greater the perceived chaos, the bigger the jump between the two roads, and the greater capacity there is for growth. The true purpose of God, enter universe, spirit, divine, whichever word resonates. The true purpose of God and the nature of God is growth. God is always seeking through us to expand and grow. We are right now being called forth to make a big jump. We all intended to be here on earth at this time to be midwives to this process. We are here to grow. This is the most exciting time to be here on this planet, and we have been preparing for this time forever. But for us to make the jump in a direction that is joyful and rooted in our consciousness of God, it's going to take a lot of practice and discipline. We are being called upon to release the last threads of belief systems that have kept us separate from our divinity for lifetimes. And here's what's so amazing is this couldn't be more accurate to describe my experience that just organically evolved over this year. And every time I'd have those moments of pondering, meditating, questioning, again, I would be reminded, look at your word for the year. And I'd reread this and I would be like, oh, okay. And it refocused me and it brought me back to the present. And it was really comforting knowing that I was given this word and this message months, a couple months at the end of the year of 2022. And it reminded me that spirit, divine, universe, guides, angels, all the whole spirit team, my higher self, has my back. And your team has your back as well. The universe always has a plan, and that's one of the reasons why I love this exercise so much and having this practice and this ritual. It's just really meant so much to me, and it's done so much for me. So I hope that you too, if you feel called to do this practice as well. Blossoming together, faith, courage, growth. What's for 2024? And so I will show you. Okay, so here it is. Do you know what it is already? So what's funny is I really was like, I got this. They gave it to me and this dropped in November or something. And I was like, no, come on. There's got to be another word. Strength. I just kind of resist and do it. I was like, no, I know that I automatically defaulted to oh man, things are going to be hard, that I'm going to need to muster up my strength to get through them. Right? The ego's like, no, give us something easy. I'm tired, and so I was like, well, it's still early enough. Maybe this isn't the word. Maybe they'll give me another word. Surely another word will drop in. We've got time before the end of the year. And just slowly but surely, all of these signs and confirmations kept coming in about strength, 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 and I kept hearing and seeing strength and all these different things, and I was like, okay, I guess this is my word. And so I wasn't really, at least right now, at this moment, I don't have a specific lengthy paragraph, thing, maybe something will come in. But I actually kind of like that this is just very short and simple. The message with this word, strength, is human strength at a new level of soul. Human strength at a new level of soul. And I feel that because the growth that has happened in 2023, especially at a soul level, it just makes sense that this would be the next phase, the next cycle, the next stage. And definitely that the growth and the development and the resilience and the lessons that I've learned this year have definitely, I would say, would encapsulate this new human strength that goes hand in hand with the new level and depth of my relationship with my higher self and my soul. So I don't know how exactly this is gonna, play out, but I will remember that, I can look back at my words throughout the last 5 years and what I've been through and how much I've blossomed, what I've learned about choosing the people in my life and coming together with those that I feel I'm aligned with, that are my chosen family, the courage that I'm capable of, the depth of my faith, which is a driver in my chart. One of my moons is in the gate 55, the gate of faith, and the moon in your chart shows what drives you. And the growth and now the strength, and just looking back over the years, and it's not like this is the first year of, well, now I'm resilient, because I've been resilient, but every time we're here in this form, in this earth school, in another year is just, again, another loop in the spiral, another layer, another depth, and it continues. And so I hope that you enjoyed this session, love. This was fun to share with you, and to kind of have a different, like I said, a different perspective of this type of session. And I would love, 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 please let me know in the comments if you are going to do this for yourself. I mean, basically what I do this with any of the questions, because it's so important to ask questions without an expectation of an answer. And you're just seeding. You're just casting out, you're casting seeds. You're questioning, you're putting the questions out into the quantum field. And you're just trusting that at the right time, in the right place, maybe from the right person, or whichever, it's going to drop in. The answers will come in the timing that they need to come. And sometimes, most of the time, it's not. We need to let go of that expectation, because we ask questions with a certain expectation on the answer. And sometimes we get answers, or the clarity comes at a later time, and it's not even what we thought it was. Or sometimes we can go back and we can look at a question that we asked, and know what? That's actually not a great question. I'm going to rephrase this. I'm going to ask a better question. And because we can change and shift the mindset and perspective of like why we're asking and where we're asking from, and just trusting in that whole process, trusting in the unfolding of your path, of your journey, trusting that you're supported, that you're seen, that you're heard, that you are loved so deeply, that you're not forgotten about, and that things may not make sense in the immediate, like in the present, in the now, but when we look back as time goes on, we can connect dots and things start to come together and make more sense. So you can journal, just ask in your journal or the notebook, ask, what is my word for 2024? What is my word for 2024? What is the word for me? What is my focus? What is my word? And then just wait. If nothing comes immediately, just wait. Wait for the word to come. And then you'll know. You'll know when you start to see those signs and those synchronicities for that word. And then you can write it down, and there might be a lengthier message that comes with it, and you can write that with it, and then you can put it up where you can see it. I mean, you can even put it on your mirror in your bathroom so you can see it every day of the year and be reminded of that word. So if you already do something like this and you already have your word for 2024, please let me know in the comments. Share that with us. Or if you do something else, you can share that as well. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here with me. May you remember that you are loved, you are light, you are love. I am you, you are me, and we are one. I can't wait to see you in the next session, love.